Don't give me that look just because...
We are live.
Well, you know what I want?
He wants peace.
Hey, you can say whatever you want. I'm just letting you know that it's actually going out on the air right now.
Good. I'm about to drop a major F-bomb. God bless it.
Right now.
You know what?
Son of a bee.
You know my girlfriend, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
Not, no.
Yeah.
Not familiar.
If I want to be around crankiness...
Well, I am cranky because I'm friggin'... My headphones are getting all jacked up.
Well, whose fault is that?
I don't know what the hell just happened here. God damn it. This is not a good start to the show for me. Alrighty. Why is this happening?
Because it's you, that's why.
Dude, you ain't kidding.
Well, for anyone listening on Spreaker right now, we're just getting set up here.
Here we go.
We'll be ready in a minute or two, as long as JT's hunger pangs don't delay us any further.
Oh my god, this weight loss.
What was the login again for our thing?
There
the
we go.
website part of it, so I can look at messages if we get any.
Spreaker.com
Got that much.
/user/NHC podcast.
Alrighty. Headphone crisis averted.
All right, we are hot. We are rolling.
Alright.
Only thing we're missing is a host.
Where? Why? What do you mean you were missing a host?
Well, you have yet to host anything.
You're a real prick tonight.
Dude, you need to sleep more, okay? That's what you need to do.
I sleep plenty. Why?
You pulled this when you came over for Star Wars Trivial Pursuit last week, too.
What?
Oh my god, I haven't had my kickstart and my 5-hour energy. How am I going to stay awake past 8 p.m.?
I go to bed at normal hours.
Yeah,
That's
but
not 8 p.m.
At
You're
your
not
age,
a toddler.
At your
Look.
age, normal hours is 8 p.m. though.
Thank you. See? Look.
And he's going to get his AARP card and his Golden Buckeye card any week now, too.
Right? This keeps me from getting tired during the show. Alright?
Yes, I'm on
I've heard
off, but that keeps
episodes-
me from killing y'all.
Yeah. I've heard episodes where I get tired during the show, and you can tell I have a lack of energy, and it's not as entertaining. I do what I do. I do it my way. Fuck it. We're doing it live. Now.
See, that's what people tune in for.
Listen, man. It's been working. I have my system, and I'm sticking to it. So.
Drug addict.
Yeah.
Caffeine is a drug.
I only do it for the show. I just did it the other night because I've been getting up at 6 in the morning, and I knew we were going to be up super late, so.
What was that song? They do it for the drugs.
Yeah. Do it for the drugs! From the bottom of a bottle!
God, I hate that song.
Yeah, not very good. Who was that? Motion City soundtrack or something?
Smile, Empty Soul.
Smile, Empty Soul.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shows how much I paid attention to it.
As soon as that guy wrote that chorus, I'm like, you're an asshole, and I never want to know you.
Circa 01 right there.
Yeah, it was. All right, we ready?
Sure. By the way, Steve, here you go. Gonna flip through that.
I already was.
Peruse.
Remember when I sat down?
Oh.
All right.
I'll look through it again, but yeah.
I shall now host.
Host! Speak!
It's a great time to host. Since
Oh, glorious Caesar!
we've been live for 3
Speak.
minutes. It's a good time to start hosting.
Oh, glorious Caesar.
we can't say the other one. All right, ready? Here we go. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. I'm your host, JT. With me is AJ, and with me is Steve, who is currently rooting through the Star Wars Rogue One Ultimate Visual Guide.
That is a huge book, and I couldn't flip through the pages because I was going to start slapping the computer and the microphones and stuff. That book is gigantic.
Just hear all sorts of thumping and all that. You know what's funny about that, Steve, is AJ showed that to me the other night before our Trivial Pursuit match, our Skype Trivial Pursuit match with the guys in Blockade Runner.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, and the one thing I couldn't quite catch the name of in Rogue One was that like slug-looking manatee thing that whatever it is with the milky-looking eyes that makes you lose your mind, but it can tell if you're lying. So I root through that book. Do you know that's not in there?
Really?
Yeah. There's like all these characters where like you might see their ankle sticking out of a doorway, and
they get 3 pages in the book.
Yeah, and like the mind reading slug thing is not in there. I'm like, that's what I wanted to know about. So it's like Bort Gullet or something like
that's
that.
That's in the ultimate visual guide.
Board Gullet.
Board Gullet?
B-O-R and then Gullet.
Boar Gullet and that's official? You've looked that up?
Yes, it's on Wikipedia.
Ah, okay, so Boar Gullet, okay. Yeah,
a large octopus-like creature with the ability to read thoughts. Now here's my question, though.
Okay.
Once it's read your thoughts, how does it communicate those thoughts to anyone else? Like, do they have like a hand signal worked out or something? Like 1 tentacle for truth, 2 tentacles for lie, or like I don't get it.
It actually talks. They just didn't show it. Like it looks all creepy and slimy as it walks up, and then it gets what it needs and turns around and goes to saw. No, sir, he's telling the truth. He's fine. He's good. He's good.
I want it to have like a droopy dog voice or something like that. No, he says he's telling the truth.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? that would be great to put on YouTube. Is to put a voice to it.
I like yours though.
I don't like you.
We need to get in touch with the guys who make Robot Chicken and get them up to work on that. That'd be great. I would love to see Boar Gullet and Boba Fett. Yeah, I took out like 20 stormtroopers. He's lying. He didn't take out any.
Yeah.
He
didn't take out any. He just got stuck in the Sarlacc.
We'll just wait till Rogue One comes out on Blu-ray, and we'll just do one of those bad lip-reading things that are big on the internet.
That would be awesome.
We'll just redo the entire movie the way we see fit.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
You know, we were talking about doing those commentaries. Yeah. Maybe instead of the commentaries, we should just redub the whole thing. Commentaries are overdone, but except for riff tracks, who recuts an entire film?
Yeah, right? Honestly, I feel like that's going to be 90% of our commentary anyways, is we're going to have like 10% insight, 90% roasting.
I was just going to say, I wonder how that's going to turn out, and you're probably right.
Dude, we're not going to get 5 minutes into episode 1 before one of us drops some stereotypical Asian joke about the stupid...
the Neimoidians?
Yeah. Like, there's no way. There's no way we're not going to, so...
Yeah, it's just... I love watching Star Wars, but we know it so well that it's hard not to, like, you know, joke around while we watch it. I mean...
Yeah, that's why it's just going to turn into a roast. We're going to have to... We're going to get sued by the Riff Tracks guys.
Right. Dude, knowing our audience, no one's going to be listening to it for our... actual like intellectual insight. They're like, I want to hear him rip on stuff. Like, okay, here we go.
You're gonna say 2 insightful things and people are gonna bitch at us over Facebook.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We tune in for the humor, not your actual opinions, you jerks. Now be funny, clown.
How dare you be smart?
Yeah, what the heck are you doing? So we did mention a Trivial Pursuit match that AJ and I had this past Friday, and it was an individual match. So AJ and I were not on the same team, but there were 5 of us. It was AJ and I, and it was John, and it was Dan and Kevin.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, from the Blockade Runner podcast that we are friends with, and we connected via Skype, and we were playing the new Black Series Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, and.
This was a momentous occasion, by the way, because we played that edition before and came across exactly 0 Episode 7 cards.
Yep.
But we did finally get an Episode 7 question in this game.
Who got it?
I don't remember.
Because they asked us. They actually found the cards in their pile. We didn't find any in ours.
Yeah, I swear I actually found the pack and mixed them in. I know they're in there somewhere, but still, I've even like just gone rifling through the stack one at a time, like... looking for it. Never come across it yet.
Yep. Well, you were the beneficiary of a run of questions that were the most mind-numbingly, stupidly easy, like, trivia questions for Star Wars that I could possibly imagine. Steve, you should have seen it. He got like 20 or 25 questions in a row right, and they were like, what color is R2-D2?
So he got questions that I probably would have got right.
Oh, you would have gone, what the hell is this? This is so easy.
Because I remember when we tried playing the one time, like, I was getting the exact 180 of those things. You guys were asking me questions. I was just sitting there staring off into space. Like, wow, I have no idea. I feel like I've never watched any of these movies now. Thank you.
Well, that's what happened to me, because AJ went first, and then I ended up getting second. So AJ went first, and he would get these stupid easy questions, and then mine comes up, and it's like, how many rocker panels are on the left side of the Millennium Falcon? It's like, what the hell? I kept getting all these screwy, really difficult ones, and so AJ... And then it was AJ and John. They took a pretty big lead. It was what?
And then you get the cheeses? AJ, and they're like, "What color is the stormtrooper armor?"
Yeah. Well, there was something really funny that did come up, because their buddy Kevin showed up a little bit late. He actually, because AJ had gone on such a run, he ended up coming right as I think it was
the first round ended.
Yeah, right, as the first round ended.
All four original players had just finished their turns,
and then Kevin shows up, so he went fifth. Well, anyway, we were joking around about AJ's questions, and we said something like, What power binds the galaxy together? Ha ha, the Force. So Kevin comes in, and I'm not even kidding. He rolls, and the first question, I had to ask it, and I just busted out laughing immediately. It was, what does Obi-Wan Kenobi say binds the universe together? It's like, are you kidding me? It was too perfect, but it actually happened. I was like, holy crap. So... But yeah, AJ got out to some monstrous lead. It was like four wedges to nothing or something. Wow. He and John were battling for it, and then so AJ, you had all 6, right? And you were going for the middle.
And then 5, I was pretty stalled at for a while, actually.
Okay. But then you got 6, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay, and then John got all 6, and he was going for the middle. And the way that we play is that if you get into the middle, instead of, I think the rules according to the game are that the team asking the question gets to pick whatever question they want off the card. But AJ and I do it where you have to get an entire card right. So you pick a card at random and you ask all questions. You have to get all 6 questions right to win the game. So John had been telling us that he was just horrible under pressure, and every time he gets to the middle, he just tanks.
Yeah, right.
So don't you know, he finally makes it to the middle, and first question on the card, he blew it. So
it was pretty epic, actually.
Yeah. So we had been playing for like 4 hours or something, because we would start talking about Star Wars. We'd be bullshitting for like 20 minutes, and then, oh yeah, whose turn is it? And then start playing again. So anyway... So AJ and John were battling to try and get in the middle, and I had 3 cheeses. And being the swashbuckling Han Solo-esque hero that I am, I went on a run that saw me land the 3 remaining cheeses, or wedge Antilles, as I call them. And on my very first roll to get the 6 I needed to get to the middle of the board, I rolled a 6, ran the card, and won the game. I was amazing.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. You were like the dark horse trailing behind, and then just out of nowhere. I don't know how many times I danced around the stupid center.
Yeah,
I never even landed on it.
Yep.
Like I was the first one to be racing towards the middle, and I don't know how many questions in a row I answered right, but never got the roll.
And the sucky thing for you was that you kept rolling one too many.
Yeah.
So he always was on like one space away from the center, and it was... Oh my god! And there was a couple times because we were using the R2-D2 digital roller, because in the original trilogy version of the game, it comes with an R2. You push his head in it. Well, it would land on what he needed, and then go one more. So we'd be like, "Oh, we got it!" Oh,
so it do that little beep.
Yep. So he was so close, but yeah. So I ended up winning, and it was seriously like out of nowhere, and it was. Somehow I started getting the easier questions finally than AJ was getting, because it wasn't even like I got these questions. I'm like, give me a second. I mean, it was Question, bang, answer. Question, bang, answer. I was pounding through these things. I got a real lucky run of cards and a lucky couple of rolls, and the game was over. So
what we discovered is if any question begins with who, we're going to get it right. If it's just a character name, it's like the simplest question ever.
yeah,
Then you get stuff like, how many rear molars does a Rancor have?
right. And I think they were right that the Black Series, the questions are a lot easier than that original trilogy one, because that original trilogy one, even you and I, we had a couple matches that were like 4 hours long.
Oh, I remember the question that sunk me as I was trying to get to the middle. Steve, here you go.
Oh, God.
How many kicks does Darth Maul land on Obi-Wan in their fight on Naboo?
Oh, yeah. I actually got that one right.
God, there's no multiple choice to that thing?
No.
Christ, 6. I don't know.
Right? What kind of a bullshit question is that?
It's 3.
I was going to say 4. So
Yeah. I guessed 3 because I remember the 2. The one is where, they're both fighting out in all the rings and stuff, and he kicks him down, he falls down a couple levels, and then Force jumps back up.
Right.
And then there's the one when just the two of them are fighting. But I couldn't remember the third, but I'm like, I seem to remember a third one that I couldn't quite place, so I just kind of guessed 3, and it ended up being right. So I can't say, oh, I knew it was 3. But,
yeah, I mean, I know the movies pretty well. I know lines of dialogue and pretty good with character names. But if you want me to remember the exact choreography of every lightsaber fight, I'm sorry, that is just too detailed.
Yeah.
But see, for me, though, if I'm going to play a Trivial Pursuit game, that's the kind of stuff I think they should have in there. Because people that are nerdy enough to want to play Star Wars Trivial Pursuit probably are people like us who really know the movies. So asking the stupid easy crap, like what color is Chewbacca or whatever, I mean, that's why players like us can go on these crazy runs, because you get these easy ass questions. I think it should be a little more difficult. Like I say, the original trilogy one is pretty detailed.
Yeah, but I still want it to be stuff that matters, and I don't care how many kicks or punches or anything land. Okay, like you had one that was similar, but it was at least fair. It was how many ATSTs were destroyed in the Battle of Endor.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
And that one, you're like, okay, that's kind of cheap, but you can actually, you can rewind those in your head, because those are at least big enough moments. Mm-hmm. Steve, you got a guess on that one? How many ATSTs were destroyed in the Battle of Endor?
Chicken walkers.
Did they actually call them chicken walkers in the question?
No, but I'm just saying in case he's...
Got a random guess? Let's say 2 or 3. 3. Let's go 3.
And you are correct.
Yeah. Yeah. The one that walked on the logs and fell over.
Right.
Then they had the one with the 2 logs and smashed it
into it.
And then they had the one that Chewbacca blew up when he commandeered the
fourth.
other one.
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah.
So you can remember all those moments.
Yeah.
They're big moments. A kick being landed in the middle of a lightsaber battle is not a big moment.
Well, yeah, it is, because there's not a lot of that going on. It's usually just lightsabers getting smashed around.
I see where AJ is going with that. That is not... You remember the lightsaber fight. You're not going to remember the kicks that are landed. Like, honestly.
I did.
Well, you just said you just said
the guy
you pretty much guessed at it.
Yeah, the guy holding the answer in his hand on the card is, I got it. I totally did
I
it.
didn't turn it over, though.
Right, he's never done that before.
I don't.
Do I need to unhide the audio from our live Trivial Pursuit match?
Listen.
How many times did Han Solo blink while talking to Conja Club in episode 7?
Right, that's the kind of stuff I'm like, who cares?
Well, dude, none of it matters. I mean, because you can't have a trivia game with just obvious stuff, because everyone's going to get it. You have to have more background stuff. But that's why I'm kind of surprised, like you said, where anytime it's a who question, it's always obvious stuff. It's always, like things you already that is right in the forefront. It's not like, who was the band leader in Jabba's palace, like.
Okay, here's a reasonable middle ground. You had I think you had the question, and I think you got it right. Actually, no, you got it almost right. You were so close. What odds did R2 give?
Oh yeah, for surviving
3PO.
3PO.
Yeah. What odds did 3PO give for Han and Luke to survive overnight on Hoth?
And I said
I don't
720 to 1, and it was 725 to 1.
But that's a line of dialogue at least. Like you can play that back in your head.
Yeah.
How many links into the chain were in Leia's slave? So you know people are going back watching 1, 2, 3, 4. 5.
All I know is I got the questions right when it really counted. So
Right.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. I won the game, so I thought it was fair.
Exactly.
Unfair to the payor,
But not to the
payee.
And you're gonna pay it, or else.
Or else what?
Tell him, Vinny. Or else pizza is gonna send out
For you.
I haven't watched Spaceballs in a long time.
Oh, so good.
You wouldn't
so
know it,
good.
but
No, but that Trivial Pursuit match gave me an idea, and I'm throwing down the gauntlet right now. I challenge any podcaster who wants to Skype in with us and do a match. I love that whole like Skype Trivial Pursuit thing. In fact, I'm thinking
it was a lot of fun.
I don't know how many podcasts would be interested in playing us, or each other for that matter, but I think we should set up a tournament.
Oh, they don't want none of this. They don't want none of this, man.
We already know what, like 3 or 4. We already personally know 3 or 4 podcasts that are going to Celebration, and we plan on meeting up with them. Mm-hmm. How cool would it be to set up a tournament? Like, have some brackets set up, play some matches whenever they're able to, and have it all culminate so the finals are the week of Celebration as everyone's getting into town.
That'd be hilarious.
We all get together for a big Star Wars Trivial Pursuit throwdown in person. That would be awesome.
We'll do it in the lobby bar at the Rosen.
Oh, that'd be
We'll
great.
have a congregation. So
Yeah, do it with a crowd.
I'll be drinking. You know what would happen though? Whoever makes the finals, there's going to be those podcasters that didn't do it or fans that didn't do it. They're going to sit there and know every single answer and just be assholes about it.
Yeah, they're going to be calling out the answers like crazy.
You guys are so stupid, man. I totally know this. Like, I know every answer. Like, damn
There's
it.
87 links in that chain, moron.
So, like, the one who's, like, the very best at trivia will not be a part of it and will invariably be standing over our shoulders going, oh, you
How
guys
many
are so
drinks
stupid.
were on R2's drink cart in the sail barge?
Well, we already know that we know far less than most other podcasters about the movies, so I think we might have to like level a playing field with some really ridiculously stupid hard questions, like either by mixing up the versions to get like the episode 1 version with the impossible questions.
I gotta buy that. That reminds me.
Or our handy dandy little book over here, the
Level the playing field, so that means every time
Obsessed
someone
with Star Wars, yeah.
every time someone asks us a question, it's on a card handwritten in crayon.
Just make crap up.
Please, someone write us the Star Wars Trivial Pursuit Kids Edition.
Yeah.
What color was the 3PO's arm in episode 7?
Someone's like, red. No. We meant the right arm. Damn it! Oh, come on! I set that one up nicely, didn't I? All right,
you almost missed it.
Yeah. Right. All right, so what we wanted to talk about tonight was the news this week that came out, what was it, Monday or Tuesday?
Speaking of that,
Monday.
before you get into it, thank God we didn't record last week.
Why?
Because we would have been releasing something on Sunday without the biggest Star Wars news to come out in months
Right.
on our podcast. So,
Yeah, we've been behind before. It's all good.
very cool that we skipped out on last week to just do it at the last
Right.
minute here.
Our slacking finally paid off.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the big Star Wars news, of course, of the week was Monday morning when Lucasfilm released the official title of Episode 8, which, as everyone by now knows, is The Last Jedi. And there's been a lot of speculation about it, a lot of opinions being thrown back and forth about what it means, what it could mean, what it says for the sequel trilogy going forward. And we obviously have our thoughts on it. My initial reaction to it, I'll start, was I wasn't really into it. I think it's kind of growing on me as time goes. The one thing I thought was really cool, I liked how it was red. I think that really
Yeah, that was the number 2 thing that came into my mind. You know, the first one, very obvious. 2, I was like, red logo. Like, I'm digging it.
Yeah, I thought it was cool to change up the color.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
I wonder if they'll keep it that way or if it's just for the poster.
Well,
I think it would almost, I like it now. I think it would annoy me if, like, the crawl starts and it's red. I'd be like, that's not right.
Well, I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, you know, like, I know that's going way, way far, you know,
Yeah.
but that would really annoy me if it just stayed red the whole time. Right now, I'm digging it, though.
Yeah.
But what about the Star Wars logo that pulls back at the beginning before the crawl?
You can't change that.
Yeah, it's got to be yellow. If it's red, that'll piss me off.
Yeah, me too. You can't change that. I mean, changing the poster color is really cool because it hasn't been done. And just that one little change, making it red, you're like, ooh, this is... You can already get a feel for the movie. It's kind of a statement that this movie's going to be a little darker. I mean,
because we've been force-fed through Star Wars to know that red is generally like an ominous thing.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, it gives you that feeling right off the bat.
I don't know if you can assume it's going to be darker just based off of that one little bit of information.
Well, there's also that, and the actors have all said that it's going to be a lot darker too. So.
And the poster shows space, which is generally dark. So.
Yeah, dude. We met like
shut it down. Shut it down. Steve got it. Show over.
Duh, AJ. We were talking about it being more set at night, not about a tone. Jeez, get with the program. But yeah, I thought it was cool. And the other thing that was interesting, I just saw this last night, was someone put the 2 posters next to each other, and it actually says "The Force Awakens: The Last Jedi," and I'm like, holy crap! It makes a sentence. So.
I saw that. I feel like that's a stretch, but I can see how simple it is to go for it, though. So I'm not like mad at anybody that's been posting that.
It would be awesome if Episode 9 actually finished it out.
Oh,
that would be.
God, but I've seen all the jokes online about trying to fill in Episode 9's title, and it's from a nap.
That was me. I mean, it lends itself to jokes, So it even to the point where on Cleveland.com today, whoever this guy Michael Heaton, he's called the Minister of Culture. He decided how this gets to be. This guy gets paid for this. I need this job because it was so stupid. But he was like, here's all the titles that were rejected for Episode 8, and it's all these like, ha, look how funny I am. Like, just stop it. It's not newsworthy. Quit with the clickbait. No one wants to hear your crap, especially because he was kind of like side of the mouth ripping Star Wars before he went into it. I'm like, well, if you don't like, I've never understood that. Like, a little sidebar with movie critics, why do they send movie critics to movies of stuff that they don't like? Like if a critic doesn't like action adventure movies, they send them to review the Bourne movie, and invariably they're going to kill the damn thing because they don't like that genre. It's just stupid. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on, dude.
It's like sending a food critic with a tomato allergy to an Italian restaurant.
Exactly.
But it was terrible. It made my cheeks cut out so bad.
But yeah, no, I think it's a bit of foreshadowing with the color. I think that's an obvious statement to make, but I thought it was really cool. I mean, it was the first vibe I got off it was, ooh, what
All
is
right,
this?
the 2 things that I will say about the red logo as far as the feels I got off of it. 1, you're going to get a lot more dark side influence, like more on Kylo Ren's training and the growth of his power. That could be one bit of foreshadowing. And the other thing could just be a level of intensity. I mean, red is pretty much the most intense, angry color you can have. So maybe the action scenes are amped up even more or something. I don't know.
No, I mean, that could be. I mean, they've said that there was...
Or maybe they're just going for primary colors, then the next one's going to be blue.
Would that be great? Here's a blue poster.
Then
Why?
you can overlap all 3 posters when they come out, and it'll be 3D.
Exactly. That's the whole plan. But
personally, the rejected title I like was the one I saw in the Star Wars Podcast Alliance on Facebook just now.
Which one?
It says, Star Wars, I better not have to watch Luke Skywalker die with my own 2 eyes. I swear to God.
That was as soon as I saw the title first thing that went through my head. It was like, Luke's dead.
See, that's interesting because that's what a lot of the speculation is about.
Because I figure, like, I'm just trying to put everything together. When they introduced all the old characters before Episode 7 and stuff, you know, we knew they were basically going to get picked off. It started with Han. However, they're going to write out Leia at this point. It's like none of these guys are sticking around for forever, so it's kind of like it's an easy assumption to go, Luke's going to die this movie, next movie. Does he go out like Yoda? Does he go out like Obi-Wan? Which was, you know, hopefully he doesn't go out like Obi-Wan. It was like the worst death scene in the history of movies.
It had a purpose, though.
He's like the number 3 Jedi to ever live, and he goes out like he's the opening act from a Chris Angel show.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Is like, yeah, we're gonna lose Mark on this one. But it's kind of bound to happen too. So,
see, you could, but I mean, a lot of the speculation is based around the fact that Jedi can be plural or singular. And one thing we've heard,
or they go right out of left field. Luke survives, and they just kill Rey.
Yeah, right.
Like, holy crap!
Yeah. What the heck is this?
Like, wow, that's a plot twist none of us saw coming. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Disney. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, it could mean that it's about Luke, or it means the Last Jedi is Rey, or it means, you know, the Last Jedi is in, like, the New Jedi Order, but they're the last of the Jedi. And I haven't really seen anybody mention, what if it's plural, but it's just about Luke and Rey? A lot of people are kind of skipping that. It's either a New Jedi Order or singular Rey or singular Luke. And it's like, well, what if it's Luke and Rey?
What if it's talking about the Jedi just before them? As in, like, the previous Jedi. The Last Jedi? Ah, he sucked. He is terrible.
Or there's that. I highly doubt it. But
hey, as long as we're just tossing out bad ideas, I got plenty of them.
Oh, God. The internet it is Wednesday night, dude, and we've had pretty much 48 solid hours on this. There's been some trash out there from things that people are trying to... God, I've seen so many... I'm not going to say so many. I've seen a handful of people that are like, okay, this movie's coming out in 2017. Star Wars Rebels is on the air in 2017. So obviously those time frames match up.
Are you serious?
Some people are that stupid, yes. Talking about, Ahsoka or Kanan is going to come in. And I'm like, no, Kanan would be about 150 years old right now. So no, he's not going to show up.
Oh, good Lord!
And I don't want to feed the trolls on Facebook because I know my phone won't stop going off once I try to like fix people's stupidity for them. But yeah, I literally watch. And you mentioned it before we went on the air, something about how sometimes there's a car accident and you can't help but not look at it.
Right.
Like, I saw 2 guys debating on a Facebook thread, and there was probably about 15 messages back and forth between the 2 of them talking about how Kanan and Ahsoka could be in Episode 8 training Rey to be the last Jedi. And I could not stop reading these no matter... I would have had a better time smashing my head in with a hammer, and I would have left smarter than reading the comments that these 2 were putting on there. But I couldn't stop reading them.
It's like, I understand that I guess time-wise you could do that because the number of years is not so extreme between the time period of, you know, Rebels and Episode 8. I mean, technically...
35 to 40 years.
Yeah, you could do that. But, I mean, at that point, then you're just shoehorning in characters from other parts of the Star Wars galaxy to go, hey, remember this from this show? Remember this from this show? Like, oh, come on.
It's not even 35 to 40 because Rebels is before 3. Or, no, after 3.
Yeah, it leads into
and then we got 4,
4,
5, 6, and then we got 30 years past that for 7.
Yeah,
right, that's what I'm saying. Is like you're basically going... I think this season of Rebels is about, they said, 2 years before Episode 4. So
Luke would be like, what, like 15, 16, something like that?
Yeah.
All right. So he's 15 or 16, and then let's say what's how many years is the total time for 4, 5, and 6? What is it, like 5, 6 years or something?
Something like that, yeah.
So let's just say 6 years.
Okay, so that's closer. I was thinking 4, 5, 6 was a broader.
So let's say Luke is like 25 at the end of Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be like 55 in Episode 7. Okay, so that explains older Luke. But then Kanan was already like 25 or something like that.
Kanan was a Padawan when Order 66 went down.
Yeah.
So let's say for even numbers' sake, let's call him 15 when Order 66 happens. Then 19 years pass between that and Episode 4. Okay? So we're looking at like 35, 34 years old, plus another 35 years, he'd be like 70.
Yeah, that would work. But I see...
It's still god-awful.
No, believe me, I agree.
And it's really... And if you would have... I should have screen grabbed them so you guys could see. They were literally going on the fact that they thought that Rebels and this was happening at the same time because it's 2017.
Oh, come on.
Come on! Like, they were talking about things that were happening in this season of Rebels and how that could coincide to how they could train Rey to be a Jedi.
I see that we've talked fan theories on the show many times, and I just don't understand where people come up with some of this stuff. It's almost like some people just come up with something just so they can have theirs out there. Like, look, I came up with a theory. Like, at least put some logic to it.
Or a microphone in front of it like we do.
At least ours have some basis to it.
But that is what this show is. This is our fan theories.
Yeah, but we didn't come up with the fact that Ahsoka is Supreme Leader Snoke. Like that one dummy.
Oh, God.
Ahsoka?
Yeah, Ahsoka. That was great.
I think I got a nosebleed when I read that.
Oh, my God. I mean, that was our second show ever?
Yeah.
Attack of the Fan
I'm
Theories?
going to bring up the hammer thing again. I'm going to get a hammer and just leave it on the table here. Whenever we read a horrid fan theory, that it just makes more sense to smack yourself in the temple with a claw hammer.
I agree with that one. Yeah, no, what I wanted to do tonight, instead of just, let's review what The Last Jedi means and why it's red, I kind of wanted to get into what we think the movie is going to, like start speculating. Kind of get into, like, what we think it's going to be, what we think the story is going to be, kind of go deeper than just, well, because it says The Last Jedi.
Well, now we hammered quite a few points at Episode 7 before it came out. We might as well see how good we do on this one.
That's why I want to kind of do that before it comes out, based on the information that's out there. Because there are some, there's been photos taken on set that were leaked, and there's, we've discussed the fact that there might be a Force tree in this one, like, which I still don't think is as good of an idea as the Force cow that we came up with.
Yeah,
God, that was Force cow.
That was fantastic.
I love it.
That's one of our better ideas, but
I'd love for Episode 8 to just have a Force cow, just
right,
just at random spots. You just see him kind of off in the distance. He's just walking, just chewing on some grass off in the distance.
Well, it's got to make blue milk.
Yeah,
the only two times
Wouldn't that be great?
The only two times we've seen it were at the Skywalker household and the Urso household.
What if
they had the same cow?
It's
like a 500-year-old cow.
Yeah.
It lives as old as Yoda.
You know what? If Amazon and Ponda Baba can get all the way from whatever that city were they on Jeddah City? Yeah, they were on Jeddah City. All the way from Jeddah City over to Mos Eisley, then yes, that cow could absolutely get from Lamu over to Tatooine.
And at the end of Episode 8, they just turn that thing into like one of the Saw movies where they basically recap the entire movie so you could so you could go, oh crap, that's what it means. And then, you just see that stupid cow in all the shots that are like the most important.
But see,
I love this thought that there's a cow hidden in every movie.
It cuts back to Episode 7. You can kind of see right in the forest when Rey and Kylo are fighting. You just see the cow chilling between a couple of trees in the distance.
Dude, a branch falls on the cow, and the cow gives the Wilhelm scream. That's where they have a cow going, ah!
Dude, it's right in there, dude. The planet is called Lamu.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it would be an awesome plot twist because
Dude, we're gonna have one of those old school things up on my basement wall with from the cop shows with the map, and we're gonna have all the strings going to
The CIA conspiracy map.
and all the strings are gonna come to the center where there's this cow.
See, what the plot twist is going to be is that there's going to be 2 force cows because the one force cow makes blue milk, but then they're going to have another force cow that's like evil and it makes red milk. So it's going to.
Oh, I love it
because of it matches the color of the lightsabers and stuff.
I love it.
So that'll be. Hey, check it out! There's 2 force cows. Oh my god! Like,
Yeah, that's the plot twist going into episode 9.
They've already established that kyber crystals change their color based on the force wielder. So the good cow makes the blue milk because he's got a kyber crystal necklace.
the bell.
Yeah.
It's the little thing
Right,
that hangs in the bell,
clacker or whatever.
The clacker in the bell is a blue kyber crystal on the good cow, and on the Sith cow it's a red clacker or whatever it's called.
It's funny you bring that. I was just reading a thing the other day about.
You realize our cows are all gray Jedi, then, right? 'Cause
yes,
I've never seen anything but white.
I was just reading something the other day about.
It's like Ahsoka's.
Rebels Ahsoka about how
Ahsoka.
Her two lightsabers are both from Inquisitors that she killed, and she purified the kyber crystals and took them.
Yeah, that was in the Ahsoka book.
Yeah, so I
thought I played that for you.
Did we play that?
Didn't we have that on the air?
Yes, we did.
Oh wait, no. We had the explanation, but the actual passage of when she takes the crystals and they turn white, we didn't play on the air. But yes, that's in there.
Okay.
Oh, well. Something that we know happens in Episode 8 based on photos that everyone has seen by now. There's obviously confrontation of some kind between Luke and Rey and Kylo Ren, so we know that. For me, I kind of like an article that you found, AJ, that kind of tries to describe what's going on in the plot and kind of says that the Solo family, basically what threw Kylo Ren to the dark side, was a massive tragedy within the Solo family that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, even reading that article, and I've got to sort through and find it again so we can post it in the show notes. I never considered it because I just kind of like offhandedly took Force Awakens on its surface and assumed that him falling to the dark side was the split that put Leia and Han on separate paths, and this thing totally blows that out of the water, and it makes perfect sense. You want to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, basically what it says, Steve, is that Han and Leia were still together, and it posits that Rey is another Solo child, and basically something happens, some massive family tragedy happens to the Solos, and Han and Leia are dealing with that and kind of neglect Kylo Ren as a result, and that's what pitches him over to the dark side. And is that it, or it's basically
overall. Yeah. They use the books and all the stuff that's come out about the sequel trilogy timeline so far to kind of like piece together when they split, when Ben went to train with Luke, and then also revisit some of the dialogue from Episode 7 to try to figure out the way things go. And here's what we know for sure. We know that up to about 6 years before The Force Awakens, Han and Leia are still together. And Ben is, at this point, off training with Luke.
Yeah.
Because that's covered in the timeline of Bloodline. The one that's all about General Leia and the formation of the Resistance. Spoiler for anyone who hasn't read it. Sorry. It's been out. It's been out for, 6 months now?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more. Plenty of time. If you haven't picked it up yet, it's your own fault.
Right.
So at least up to 6 years before Episode 7, they're still together. Which is weird because, I got the impression from the movie that they had been apart far longer than that. So you know that they haven't been split that long, and in that book, Ben is already off training with Luke and is not going by the name Kylo Ren, so his fall to the dark side has not happened yet as of 6 years prior to Episode 7. So all their dialogue about, we both had to deal with it in our own way, we went back to what we're good at, and Leia saying, that's when I lost him. That's when I lost you both. It wasn't sending him off to Luke that she's talking about, which is what my assumption was. Steve, is that the impression that you got from the movie? Yeah,
kind of what I figured it was.
Yeah, this theory says that was not what.
Right, there was something preceding that. So in the time